Hey guys, it's Merce. Welcome back to Harpies in the Trees. Yesterday I posted a stories poll to see which video I should make this weekend, and you guys voted, which was so nice and so awesome. The three videos that I wanted to do this weekend were my review for Kill Creek, the channel history tag from Regina's Haunted Library, and the Christmas horror book tag by McWilliams. Both Regina and Marie so kindly tagged me in those videos, and I was very excited to do them, and I just wanted to do all the videos this weekend, which is not possible because it takes me about 8 to 12 hours per video from shooting into just finally uploading. So it takes a long time. I spend a lot of time doing it. I just love it. And so the results of the poll were the Christmas horror book tag by McWilliams. If you haven't seen the original video, you should definitely check it out. The link is in the description. She has a really cool channel. I love her setup. She has some really great videos from unboxings to reviews, and I think she even had like a few Halloween makeup tutorials in there, so it's pretty cool. Regina's Haunted Library is also an amazing channel. She has also a really cool setup that I like. She has this really nice couch and her library behind her, and she also has an evil twin named Batilda who shows up occasionally, which is really fun. Okay, so let's get started on this book tag. It has some really cool questions, and I'm pretty excited to share my answers with you. Question 1. What is the best horror-themed gift you have received? So a couple of years ago, a friend of mine gave me a set, almost a complete set of his comic book series called Tales of Dead Earth. And it's about an apocalyptic world where there's monsters and zombies and all this kind of stuff. And it's really, really cool. Yeah, I think I'm only missing one. So here's 4, 2, 3, and this is a mini comic right here. So this is actually pretty cool. I think just in recent time, I think this was the only horror themed gift I think that I've received. Which horror franchise or author's gifts would you like under the tree? Penny Dreadful is one of my favorite horror franchises. I just love everything about it, and I think that if I were to receive any type of merch from that show, it would be up my alley, because it's like the time period that I like. It's gothic, it's dark, it has demons and all kinds of stuff in it, and it also has these like supernatural elements. It also has just everything I love. So I would be into it. As for an author, I think it would be Matthew J. Kirby, because A Taste for Monsters to me was such a beautiful book. The story is about a young girl who has a disfigurement on her face. I think it's from Fossy Jaw, what they used to call. And she kind of like wears this veil where she kind of walks around with it, you know. She's very self-conscious, and for a good reason. And she befriends the Elephant Man in a hospital that she's working at. And he has this, you know, besides his disfigurement and all of the daily things that he has to maneuver just kind of existing, he also has this sort of sixth sense for the other side. And so they become friends, and Jack the Ripper is also part of the story, but he's this invisible character. So it's really interesting and fascinating, it's touching, it's sad, it's beautiful. It's written really beautiful. These two characters are just so beautiful together. And it's also in that same time period, you know, Victorian England, so it would just be perfect for me. Okay, 3. What would you buy your favorite horror author for Christmas? I don't have a favorite author. It's just something that I don't really do. I'm the same way with music. I just don't put them into like these containers for myself. I just feel like I'm more like, oh, I loved these books. These were my favorite books. So I was thinking actually that if I were to get an author a gift, it would be Adam Neville. And kind of what spoke to me about him is that, you know, he loves writing folk horror. He also, I think he loves also metal. So I thought that I would get him a Portal album, which is some black metal, and along with that, you know, maybe like an animal skull that has some really cool pagan engravings on them, and you know, just a little ayahuasca there in the cavity, you know, just for Christmas. For Christmas, you are absorbed into your last horror read. How screwed are you? Well, I am very, very screwed because it was Kill Creek. I don't want to give spoilers away, but I feel like I probably wouldn't make it out of here because knowing me, I'm a very curious person, and I am way too just drawn to things that make noises in the dark, and locked doors and stuff like that. So I think I would just find myself in trouble really, really quick. And I think I would probably be the first person to face some danger. So I would definitely be extremely screwed. So this is the same question, except it's with your current read. And actually, I just finished Kill Creek like a few days ago, and I just haven't been able to start a new book. I'm just not ready, I guess. I don't know. I've been trying, but I don't know. I'm just not ready to go into a new world. So I don't know what that means. Maybe I need to like go find Kill Creek and go inside the house and figure out what it means. Krampus is coming to get you. Who makes up your squad to kick Krampus's ass? Well, so I was thinking that, you know, I would kind of come at this kind of like a Dungeons and Dragons type situation, building a team. So I was like, I will need a cleric, I will need a berserker, I will need a rogue, and I will need a mage. And so I went through all of my books because I really wanted to challenge myself and just use characters from the books that I have read this year. Because if you don't know, I just came back to reading last December, and it was like an intentional decision. Like I had read like maybe 2 books a year, but this was the moment where I was like, I'm gonna come back to reading seriously with a lot of intent. I'm gonna do it, and I did. So I'm just using the books that I've read this year, and this is what I came up with for my team. I decided to go with Mercy Booth's father in The Coffin Path. If you haven't read this book, you should definitely read it. It's very beautiful, it's stark, it's bleak. So we're gonna go with Mercy Booth's father in this story because he is very religious. He is losing it a little bit, but he is very religious. I think he's the only character I could find in the books that I read that were religious, so we are gonna go with him as the cleric. So for the berserker, I'm gonna go with a character from Kill Creek. So this is a little bit of a spoiler. If you don't wanna know anything about this book, just I'll hold the book up, and then when it goes down, you can come back. So, ready? I'm gonna go with Daniel from Kill Creek because he goes fucking berserk. He fucking loses it. He goes insane, and he is just covered in blood. He is just lost his fucking mind. He is definitely gonna be a great berserker. I was thinking, you know, do I have a character who's sort of a thief or kind of a, you know, I don't know, skulking around? And the only character that came to mind was the skeletal apparitions or entities from Last Days. And that's a pretty weird one, right? I don't know how helpful they will be, but they definitely skulk around. They can get into places that they shouldn't be. They do leave a mark. They leave their own pattern of their body on places, so, you know, you can tell they've been there. But they can get into places without anyone knowing, and it doesn't matter if that door is locked or not. So that's pretty good, right? All right, as for our mage, I was trying to think of, do I have anyone who's like a witch or a sorcerer or something that would make sense? And the only character I could think of, which was Bran from Craven Manor. And Bran is a character in here who is the owner of Craven Manor. So this is a little tiny spoiler, so if you want to move ahead, once this book is down, you can come back. I'm going to go ahead and use Bran from Craven Manor because he is sort of a warlock, but he's also undead. And he's very powerful, and he's actually a pretty nice guy. So, I'm going to go ahead and use Bran as my mage. So here's my dream team, my dream squad. We're gonna go and take Krampus and teach him a lesson. But what does Krampus have? Krampus does have a few things up his sleeve too. I mean, he has his horns, he has his claws, he's very frightening. He's also, you know, half demon, so, you know, he has a lot going on there. But what he uses is a bundle of sticks, which is called a rutin, to beat children with. Luckily, we're not children, so I don't know if he can still beat us with these sticks. And he also has a coal. Now, is this coal hot? Because that could be pretty disturbing. And how much of it? Does he have like an unlimited amount of coal that he can just like, you know, form and throw, or, you know, I don't know, drop on you or something? That is something to consider. But Krampus has a weak spot. he likes schnapps. That's not too bad. I think it's a pretty good plan to take out Krampus, or at least to, you know, get him to relax. So those were my answers for the Christmas horror book tag. This was really fun. I enjoyed it. This is totally up my alley. If you've seen my other tags before, I love taking just regular book tags and then applying horror characters to them. To me, it's just really fun and fascinating. So this was awesome. Thank you, Marie, for tagging me. I would also like to tag some people. I would like to tag Written in Blood, Stacie's Stories, and Cammy's Corner. This is also an open tag, so if you want to do this, please do it. It's a lot of fun. So I hope you enjoyed this. I had a lot of fun with it. I hope you guys are having a great weekend, shopping, relaxing, preparing, whatever you're doing. I'll talk to you next time.